In the velvet dark between galaxies where even light grew weary, the sovereign matriarch Velara drifted aboard her bioluminescent dreadnought, the lullaby of oblivion. She was the last of the sirens of Zorath, a species whose very presence unraveled lesser minds, not through violence but through beauty, through perfection. For millennia, the sirens had ruled the galactic rim not with fleets, but with a single weapon: their kiss. A synaptic resonance encoded in pheromones, voice, and touch that rewrote neural pathways in an instant. One kiss and a being would surrender its will, its identity, its soul, melting into blissful, eternal devotion. Empires had fallen not to war, but to love. Entire civilizations had walked willingly into siren embrace, dissolving like sugar in wine. Velara was the pinnacle of this evolution. Her voice could calm supernovae. Her eyes held the gravity of black holes. And her kiss, it didn't just slay, it erased. The Hegemony Council, comprising the crystalline Vorth, the hive-mind mycelians, and the cybernetic calyx, had long ago declared her a Class Omega existential threat. Not because she destroyed, but because she made destruction unnecessary. Resistance was not crushed. It was seduced, and yet one anomaly remained. Earth, a muddy, chaotic world orbiting an unremarkable yellow star. Its dominant species, Homo sapiens, had been scanned, sampled, and dismissed as emotionally volatile, biologically fragile, and mentally unstable. The hegemony had offered them integration. Humans had replied with memes, rock music, and a declaration of independence signed in crayon by a 5-year-old, a diplomatic stunt that baffled xenolinguists for weeks. Then came the incident at Proxima Outpost. A siren scout vessel, drawn by human radio emissions, songs of heartbreak, laughter, and rebellion had approached. The scout, young and curious, had attempted first contact. She'd kissed a human engineer named Liam Carter. He'd blinked, rubbed his lips, said, "Wow, that was nice. You got any coffee?" The scout had recoiled in horror. Her resonance had bounced off, like shouting into a storm. Now Velara had come herself, not to conquer. To understand, her dreadnought materialized above Earth's moon, silent as a sigh. She descended alone in a pearl-white pod, landing in Geneva, neutral ground chosen by humans with characteristic absurdity. They'd set up a tent, with folding chairs and a coffee machine. Waiting for her was Dr. Eris Thorne, a neuroscientist, poet, and former stand-up comedian, handpicked by the United Earth Coalition for his high tolerance for weirdness. Velara emerged, radiant. Her skin shimmered like liquid starlight. Her hair flowed as if underwater. Every step pulsed with harmonic frequencies that made the air hum. Birds fell silent. Clouds stilled. Even the coffee machine gurgled in reverence. Eris stood. He wore jeans, a faded band t-shirt, and mismatched socks. He offered a handshake. "You're taller than the hologram," he said. Velara tilted her head. "You are not afraid." "Terrified," he admitted. "But I promised my niece I'd get her a selfie with an alien goddess." "She's 8. Very persuasive," she studied him. His biosigns were chaotic, adrenaline spiking, heart racing, cortisol flooding. But beneath it, a strange calm. No neural surrender, no synaptic collapse. "Your species resists my resonance," she said, voice like velvet over steel. "Why?" Eris shrugged. "Maybe we're just used to disappointment." She stepped closer. The air thickened with pheromones that had unraveled gods. "Let me test it." Before he could react, she kissed him, not gently, not cruelly, with the full force of her siren essence, a kiss that had dissolved empires, silenced wars, and turned warriors into weeping lovers. For 3 seconds, Eris froze. Then he pulled back, eyes wide. "Whoa, okay, that was intense," he wiped his mouth. "Tastes like cinnamon and existential dread." Velara staggered. Not physically, but existentially. Her resonance had hit a wall of noise. Human minds weren't clean circuits to be rewritten. They were storms of contradiction. Love and rage, hope and despair, logic and absurdity all tangled together. Her kiss had tried to harmonize the chaos, and short-circuited. "You feel nothing?" she whispered. "I feel everything," Eris said softly. "That's the problem. We're never just one thing. You try to overwrite us with perfection. We've spent 10,000 years arguing about what perfect even means. We invented therapy and reality TV. We cry at dog videos and build nukes. We're a mess." He gestured to the tent behind him. We brought coffee. Also cookies. My grandma's recipe. She survived a war, a pandemic, and my dad's cooking. If anything can withstand cosmic horror, it's her oatmeal raisin. Velara stared at the humble offering. No grand throne. No ritual. Just kindness. Over the next hour, she learned more about humanity than all hegemony archives combined. She heard about jazz music built on mistakes. About democracy, ruled by the loud and confused. About art that celebrated brokenness. About how humans kiss not to dominate but to say, I see you. Mess and all. And then she asked the question that haunted her. Why did your engineer not fall? Eris smiled sadly. Liam? He lost his wife last year, cancer. He told me once that after she died, nothing felt real, except pain. Your kiss? It offered peace. But he wasn't ready to let go of the hurt, because the hurt meant she mattered. Velara went very still. Her species had never known grief. They erased pain before it could take root. But humans, they carried it, honored it, turned it into songs, statues, revolutions. That night, Velara returned to her ship. The hegemony hailed her, demanding confirmation of Earth's assimilation. Instead, she broadcast a single message across all frequencies. The humans are not to be touched, not by blade, not by word, not by kiss. They are immune, not because they are strong, but because they are whole in their brokenness. To conquer them is to misunderstand the universe itself. Then she did something no siren had ever done. She wept. Tears of liquid light fell onto her console, sizzling like rain on hot steel. For the first time she felt loneliness, not as an absence but as a space waiting to be filled. Not by control, by connection. Back on Earth, Eris watched her ship vanish into the stars. His comm buzzed. It was his niece. Did you get the selfie? No, he said, smiling. But I think we just made a friend. And across the galaxy, the hegemony recalibrated its threat matrix. Species. Homo sapiens classification, chaotic neutral special. Note, do not attempt emotional manipulation. They'll turn it into a sitcom. For humanity had done the impossible, not by resisting perfection, but by proving that imperfection, in all its messy, stubborn, beautiful glory, was the one thing even gods couldn't conquer. And somewhere, in a quiet corner of the cosmos, a siren began writing poetry about heartbreak, coffee, and the strange courage of a species that kissed back.